The Roman Empire. Its very name evokes images of grand legions, colossal architecture, and unparalleled power. For over 1,000 years, Rome dominated the Western world, leaving an indelible mark on history. But how did a small city-state on the Tiber River grow to control such a vast domain? And what ultimately led to its legendary downfall? Our journey begins not with an empire, but with a city. Founded, legend says, by Romulus in 753 BCE, Rome grew from a tiny settlement into a formidable republic. For nearly 500 years, Rome was governed by a complex system of elected officials and a powerful senate. This republican ideal valued civic duty and military prowess. Through relentless expansion and military innovation, the Roman Republic conquered much of Italy and then expanded across the Mediterranean. The vastness of the Republic led to internal stresses, social divisions, and intense power struggles. Generals like Marius and Sulla plunged Rome into civil wars. His military victories in Gaul made him immensely popular, but also a threat to the Republic. His assassination in 44 BCE, however, plunged Rome into further chaos. However, success brought its own challenges. Figures like the Gracchi brothers attempted reforms, often meeting violent ends. Then came Gaius Julius Caesar, a brilliant general and politician. Caesar crossed the Rubicon, sparking another civil war, and eventually seized control. This was a period of unprecedented stability and prosperity that lasted for over 2 centuries. Roman administration was highly organized, effectively managing vast territories. This process, known as Romanization, created a unified identity across diverse peoples. Out of this turmoil emerged Octavian. Caesar's adopted son, patricians enjoyed luxury, while plebeians, the common citizens, still benefited from public works and entertainment. After defeating his rivals, including Mark Antony, Octavian consolidated power. Roman writers like Virgil and Ovid produced enduring works, while Roman sculptors emulated and adapted Greek forms. In 27 BCE, he skillfully transitioned Rome from a republic to an empire. Taking the title Augustus, this marked the true beginning of the Roman Empire. Augustus ushered in the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. During this golden age, the empire reached its greatest territorial extent under Emperor Trajan in the early 2nd century CE. Roman engineering flourished, creating an astonishing network of roads, impressive aqueducts, and iconic structures like the Colosseum and the Pantheon. Their legal system became sophisticated, laying the groundwork for many modern legal principles. The Sassanid Empire in the East posed a significant challenge. Everywhere the legions went, they brought Roman culture, language Latin, and institutions. A period of rapid succession, with over 20 emperors in 50 years, led to immense instability. He divided the empire into East and West for administrative efficiency. Life in the Roman Empire varied greatly by social class. However, a significant portion of the population were slaves, whose labor underpinned much of the Roman economy. Their lives were often brutal. Roman cities were vibrant, bustling centers. Rome itself was a metropolis of over 1 million people, with markets, public baths, and grand forums. Art, literature, and philosophy thrived. Regionally polytheistic, worshipping a pantheon of gods and goddesses. Rome eventually saw the rise of a new religion, Christianity. This new capital became a powerful center of learning and culture. Initially persecuted, Christianity slowly gained followers, particularly among the lower classes and slaves. Its emphasis on a single god and an afterlife offered hope. By the 3rd century CE, the empire faced a severe crisis. These barracks emperors often gained power through military force and were just as quickly overthrown. This political chaos weakened the state. Economic troubles mounted. Inflation surged as emperors debased coinage. Trade routes became less secure due to internal unrest and external threats. The empire was also under increasing pressure from external enemies. Along the northern borders, various Germanic tribes, pushed by other migrating groups like the Huns, began to press against Roman defenses. Plagues also swept through the empire, devastating populations and further weakening the military and economic capacity. Over decades, provinces were lost, central authority eroded, and Roman institutions slowly crumbled. In response to this crisis, Emperor Diocletian introduced radical reforms in the late 3rd century. Roman law forms the basis of many modern legal systems in Europe and beyond. He also established the Tetrarchy, a system of 4 co-emperors, to ensure smoother transitions of power and better defense of the vast frontiers. His reforms temporarily stabilized the empire, but also set the stage for its eventual division. Their innovations in concrete, arches, domes were revolutionary. Another pivotal figure was Constantine the Great. He rose to power in the early 4th century, famously winning the Battle of Milvian Bridge after seeing a Christian vision. Constantine legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan in 313 CE, ending centuries of persecution and fundamentally changing the religious landscape of Europe. He also moved the capital of the empire eastward, founding Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, on the site of Byzantium. The administrative division between East and West became permanent after the death of Emperor Theodosius I in 395 CE. Its story continues to resonate, shaping our understanding of history, politics, and civilization itself. The Western Roman Empire, with its capital usually in Rome or Ravenna, faced the brunt of the barbarian invasions. It was less wealthy and less urbanized than the East, making it more vulnerable to economic shocks and military pressures. The Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, with its capital at Constantinople, remained prosperous and militarily strong for centuries to come. It would preserve Roman law, culture, and Greek scholarship, acting as a bridge between the ancient and medieval worlds. The fall of the Western Roman Empire is traditionally marked by the deposition of the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, in 476 CE by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. However, this was not a sudden collapse, but a gradual process, successive waves of Germanic tribes. Visigoths, Vandals, Ostrogoths sacked Rome itself in 410 and 455 CE. A shock to the entire Roman world. Internal weaknesses, including political corruption, economic decline, overextension, and a reliance on non-Roman soldiers, compounded the external pressures. The empire simply became too vast to manage and defend effectively against the relentless pressure on its borders. The legacy of the Roman Empire is vast and enduring. Latin, the language of Rome, evolved into the Romance languages like French, Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese. Its influence is also seen in English vocabulary. Roman architecture and engineering continue to inspire, from grand public buildings to modern infrastructure. Concepts of governance, citizenship, and republican ideals, though modified, trace their roots back to Rome. The spread of Christianity across Europe was greatly facilitated by the Roman Empire's infrastructure and later, its adoption as the state religion. Even the very idea of empire as a model of vast, centralized power is largely a Roman concept. The rise and fall of Rome serve as a powerful historical lesson about the complexities of power, the challenges of expansion, and the delicate balance between internal strength and external pressures. It reminds us that even the most powerful empires are not immune to decline and transformation.